Stop everything you are doing and listen with the intensity of a man who has already decided that his current reality is no longer acceptable. That constant gap between the life you can see in your mind and the numbers you see in your bank account is not just a source of frustration. It is the slow, silent theft of your one and only life. You've been told the solution is to think more positively. That is a dangerous myth. The truth is that positive thinking without an executable plan is a form of self-delusion. Imagine, for just a moment, waking up and knowing with absolute certainty the exact next step to take to build your empire. This video will give you the precise, step-by-step blueprint to construct the bridge from intangible thought to physical reality. You will be transformed from a passive dreamer into the master engineer of your own destiny. You will finally wield the power to command your physical world by first achieving absolute command of your mind. This is your training. This is your manual. If you are ready to build, subscribe and let's begin. Your thoughts right now are like scattered light, a soft ambient glow that illuminates nothing with precision. They are pleasant, but they have no power to cut through steel or build empires. An organized thought is that same light focused into a laser beam. It's a concentrated signal with the power to transmit, influence, and create this transformation. From a vague wish to a potent command depends on three critical components. The first is definite purpose. This is not "I want to be wealthy." It is a surgical declaration. I will have in my possession $1 million by January 1st, 2027. It gives your subconscious mind an exact GPS coordinate. Without it, your mind is a ship with no rudder, drifting aimlessly. The second component is burning desire. This is the fuel for the laser. It is the obsession that consumes you, the first thing you think of in the morning and the last thing at night. A simple preference for wealth won't move a single stone. A burning, white-hot desire for your definite purpose generates the emotional energy required to influence the physical world. The third and most crucial component is applied faith. Faith is not wishful thinking, it is the unshakable belief. In the blueprint before the bridge is built, it is a state of mind you consciously create. You install it by acting as if your success is already a foregone conclusion. This is the guidance system for your laser, keeping it locked on the target. Even in the darkest storms of doubt, this is your power source. A definite purpose as your target, a burning desire as your fuel, and applied faith as your unwavering guidance system. You are not just thinking, you are transmitting a high-energy signal into the universe. You are giving a command. Now stop. For a moment, feel the difference. The difference between "I wish" and "I will." One is a plea, the other is a command. You were not born to plead. You were born to command your reality. This is the foundation upon which your entire bridge will be built. The very first mistake, the foundational error that guarantees the collapse of any great enterprise, is the belief that you must build it alone. The ego tells you that your vision is yours alone, that you must prove you can do it by yourself. This is a trap. It is the voice of limitation, not strength. The first steel pillar of your bridge is never driven into the ground by a single man. It is driven by a mastermind. A mastermind is not a social club or a networking event. It is a principle of physics. It is the coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of perfect harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. When two minds align in this way, a third, invisible, intangible mind is created. A third mind that has access to ideas and solutions that neither individual mind could conceive of alone. Look at history. Ford did not build his empire alone. He had a mastermind including Edison and Firestone. Carnegie did not build his steel empire alone. He had a mastermind of 50 specialists. They understood that you cannot build a skyscraper with the tools and knowledge of a single man. You need architects, engineers, and laborers, all united by one blueprint. Your mission right now is to lay this cornerstone, identify one person. Not 10, not 5, one. someone you trust, someone whose ambition burns with a similar flame. Share your definite purpose with them, form an alliance, a pact. Agree to meet, to hold each other accountable, to fill in the gaps in each other's knowledge. This act creates your third mind. It multiplies your power. It provides the accountability that your old patterns of doubt cannot survive. It is the concrete foundation upon which the entire weight of your dream will rest. To attempt to build without it is to build on sand. Now take this command. Before this day is over, you will make that call. You will send that message. You will forge that initial alliance. This is not a suggestion. It is the first physical act of building your bridge. You are no longer an island. You are the beginning of an empire. The structure of your bridge, the steel beams that span the chasm, are not made of positive thoughts or hopeful affirmations. They are forged from specialized knowledge. Your desire, no matter how intense, will only convert into wealth when the plan it fuels delivers tangible value to the world. The bridge is not just for you to cross. It must be a viable route that serves others. You must confront this question with brutal honesty. What will you give in return for the wealth you desire? What problem will you solve? What need will you serve? What service will you render? Wealth is a byproduct of value delivered. Your plan must be built on this unbreakable law of exchange. The universe does not reward need. It rewards specialized competence. The great myth is that you must possess all this knowledge yourself. This is false. Henry Ford was famously called ignorant in court because he didn't know basic historical facts. His response was legendary. He pointed out that he could press a button and summon an expert on any topic he needed. He didn't need the knowledge in his head. He needed to know how to organize and apply it. Your power lies in your ability to acquire and direct specialized knowledge. Where do you find it? It can come from your own experience and education. It can come from your mastermind alliance. It can be acquired through courses, books, and mentors. You must identify the knowledge your plan requires and then create a definite plan to acquire it or to form an alliance with those who already possess it. Think of yourself as the general contractor of your destiny. You don't need to know how to pour every ounce of concrete or weld every joint. You need to understand the blueprint, assemble the right team with the right specialized skills, and direct their efforts towards the completion of the project. Your bridge must be useful, it must be strong, it must be built on the steel of real-world value. So ask yourself now, what knowledge is essential for your bridge to be built? What is the single most important skill you need to acquire or gain? Access to. This clarity is what separates the dreamer from the builder. The dreamer hopes for a miracle. The builder acquires the tools and knowledge to engineer his own. A desire without a plan is a hallucination. It is a cloud of steam with no engine to power. This is the step where 99% of would-be achievers fail. They have the desire, but they never do the hard, focused work of crystallizing that desire into a logical, written, organized plan. The plan is the blueprint. It is the architectural drawing that translates the vision from your mind into the physical world. This is the central teaching of the science of success. The intangible desire must be transmuted into its physical equivalent through a practical, workable plan. It is not a mystery. It is a process. It is the moment you stop being a passenger in your life and become the architect of it. This is where you take command. The law for creating this blueprint is exact and it is non-negotiable. There are 4 steps you must take. First, you must have already formed your mastermind alliance. This is your board of directors, your council of engineers. You will not create this plan in a vacuum. Second, you must decide exactly what you intend to give in return for the fortune you desire. Your service, your product, your idea. Be specific. Third, you will determine your exact plan for delivering that value to the market. Who will you serve? How will you reach them? What are the steps? And fourth, and this is the most critical step of all, you will write it all down in clear, concise, and detailed language. This written document is your contract with yourself. It is the physical manifestation of your organized thought. It makes the intangible tangible. This written plan is your sacred text, your operational manual, your blueprint. There is a strange and powerful magic that occurs when you commit a plan to paper. It forces clarity, it exposes weaknesses, it transforms a fleeting thought into a concrete objective. Your subconscious mind now has its marching orders, it has the blueprint. Your task is clear. Take out a piece of paper right now and begin to write. Don't wait for it to be perfect. The first draft of any great plan is never perfect, but you must begin. You must take this ghost of an idea from your mind and give it a body on paper. This is the birth of your empire. A bridge with loose bolts and cracked cement is a death trap, the element that binds your entire structure together. That makes it rigid and unshakable is the power of decision. Every act of indecision, every moment of hesitation is like pouring acid on the steel cables of your bridge. It corrodes your power and invites collapse. The analysis of thousands of the most successful men in history revealed one quality they all shared in common. They made decisions promptly and they changed them very slowly, if at all. The unsuccessful, in contrast, made decisions very slowly and changed them frequently and quickly. This is not a coincidence, it is a law. Indecision is a habit. It is a pattern you have trained into your mind. It is born from fear, the fear of being wrong, the fear of criticism, the fear of failure. And so you wait for the perfect time, you wait for more information, you wait for someone else's approval. This waiting is a mental disease. It is the state of drifting where negative circumstances and the opinions of others steer your life. When you make a swift, definite decision, you close the door to doubt. You cut off all other possibilities and pour 100% of your power into a single path. You are sending a command to your subconscious mind and to the universe that this is the way. There is no plan B. A man who has a backup plan is a man who intends to fail. Now let's install a new code. From this moment forward, you will practice the habit of decisiveness. When faced with a choice, you will gather the facts, trust your intuition, and make the call. You will not agonize, you will not waver, you will decide. And you will stand by that decision as if your life depends on it, because it does. Think of the energy you waste in hesitation. That energy, if channeled into action, would be enough to build your empire twice over. Now it is time to reclaim that power. Be the man who decides, not because your decision is always guaranteed to be right, but because the habit of deciding makes you powerful. It is the cement that solidifies your will. The foundations are laid, the structure is built, the cement is set. Now you must pave the road. The bridge must be able to withstand storms, bear heavy loads, and endure the relentless passage of time. This pavement, this unbreakable surface, is persistence. This is the point on the journey where 99% of men give up. They face the first storm of temporary defeat and they retreat. They encounter criticism and they crumble. They don't see immediate results and they conclude the plan is a failure. They mistake a single battle for the entire war. They abandon the bridge, leaving it half finished, a monument to their abandoned potential. Persistence is faith in action. It is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith in your subconscious mind. It is the force that transmutes desire into its monetary equivalent. Persistence is not a passive waiting. It is an active, obstinate, relentless forward movement. In the face of all opposition, it is the refusal to accept failure as an option. The universe loves a stubborn man. It tests you. It throws obstacles in your path to see if you are truly worthy of the prize you seek. Every time you persist through a setback, you are sending a clear message. I will not be denied. And the universe, like any force, eventually yields to a will that does not break. The formula for persistence is simple. It is your willpower. Fueled by your burning desire, this quality is not something you are born with. It is a muscle you build. You build it by finishing what you start. You build it by getting back up one more time than you are knocked down. You build it by treating no as a question and failure as a lesson. You are the man who keeps walking. Let's anchor this now. The next time you feel like quitting, you will repeat this command. This is only a test. My persistence is the proof of my belief. You will see every obstacle not as a wall, but as a stepping stone. You are not just paving a bridge. You are paving your character. You are becoming the man who cannot be stopped. Perhaps you hear these principles and a voice of doubt inside you whispers, this is just theory. Does this really work in the real world? That voice is the enemy. We will silence it now, not with philosophy, but with cold, hard proof. We will examine the case study of a man who built an impossible bridge. Edwin C. Barnes. Barnes was a poor, unknown young man, but in his mind he held an organized thought, a burning, all-consuming desire to become the business partner of the great Thomas Edison, not to work for him, but with him. This was his definite purpose. He had no money, no connections, no specialized knowledge. He had only the power of his own mind. He took action. He boarded a freight train and arrived in Edison's office looking like a tramp. But Edison saw something in his eyes, the fire of a man who had already made an unshakable decision. He gave him a menial job. For years, Barnes did his lowly work. But in his mind, he was already Edison's partner. He never wavered. This was his persistence. The opportunity came when Edison invented a new device, the Ediphone. His salesmen were skeptical. They didn't think it would sell, but Barnes saw his chance. This was the moment his prepared mind met opportunity. He went to Edison, not with a wish, but with a plan. He said, I can sell this machine. He demanded his shot. This was his decision, built on a foundation of relentless persistence. He was so successful that Edison gave him a contract to distribute and market the machine all over the nation. Edwin C. Barnes made himself the partner of the world's greatest inventor. He had literally thought his way into partnership. He built a bridge from a single burning thought in his mind to a massive fortune using the very principles we are engineering today. Barnes is not a special breed of human. He simply understood and applied the law. He proved that a thought, when organized and backed by desire, decision, and persistence, must transmute into its physical equivalent. The bridge is real. Barnes built it. Now it is your turn. An engineer does not simply create a blueprint and walk away. He is on site every single day, calibrating instruments, checking alignments, and reinforcing the structure. Your mind requires the same daily maintenance. Your primary tool for this is the practice of autosuggestion. This is not a passive act of positive thinking. It is a direct command protocol for your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the master builder. It works 24/7, tirelessly executing the blueprints it is given, but it does not judge. It will build a temple of success or a prison of failure with equal efficiency based on the plans you feed it. Autosuggestion is the process of deliberately feeding it the correct blueprint every single day. Here is your daily ritual. Every morning when you wake and every night before you sleep, you will take your written statement, your definite purpose, your plan, and you will read it aloud. As you read, you will see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of your goal. You are not just reading words. You are generating the emotion of success before it has arrived. This emotionalized thought is the language your subconscious understands. By repeating this process, you are saturating your mind with the signal of your definite purpose. You are overriding the old programming of doubt and fear. You are making the belief in your success more real than any temporary external reality. This is your calibration. This is your alignment check. This is how you ensure that the master builder is working from the right plans. Most men allow their minds to be programmed by the random chaos of the day, the news, social media, the complaints of others. The engineer seizes control. He starts his day by giving his mind its sacred orders. Make this non-negotiable. It is a 5-minute ritual that will determine the trajectory of your entire day and ultimately your entire life. Do not just read the words, feel them, inhabit them, command your subconscious to build. You are the architect, but you are also the foreman. It's time to take charge of your construction site. Every great structure faces setbacks during construction. Storms hit, materials are delayed, calculations are proven wrong. A weak man sees these events as failure and abandons the project. The engineer sees them as feedback and strengthens the design. You must learn to view temporary defeat not as an enemy, but as an essential part of the building process. There is no such thing as failure for the man whose mind is fixed on his purpose. There is only temporary defeat, and every single defeat, every adversity, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. It is not a wall. It is a signal from the universe that there is a flaw in your plan. When you face a setback, you must resist the impulse to question yourself. Do not ask, "What is wrong with me?" This is the voice of the ego, the voice of the old programming. Instead, you will ask the question of the engineer, "What is wrong with my plan?" This shift in focus is everything. It separates the man from the method. You are not the failure. The plan had a flaw. Now your job is to inspect the bridge. Where is the crack? Was your foundation weak? Did you lack a key piece of specialized knowledge? Was your decision not firm enough? The defeat is a diagnostic tool. It is a spotlight showing you exactly where you need to reinforce your structure. This is the process of making your plan invincible. Each time you learn from a setback and adjust your plan, your bridge becomes stronger, more resilient. You are turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones. You are using the very force that stops most men as the fuel to propel you forward. So let's make a pact. You will welcome defeat. You will honor it as a teacher. You will see it as a gift because it is proof that you are in the arena attempting something great, and it is the very tool you will use to forge a plan so powerful, so perfect, that it becomes an unstoppable force. We have engineered the bridge with steel, concrete, and stone. Now we will fuel its completion with rocket fuel. There is a creative energy within you, a force so powerful that it has been responsible for every great work of art, every act of genius, every empire ever built. This is the energy of sex transmutation. Let's be perfectly clear. This is not about suppression, it is about redirection. The sexual emotion is the most powerful of all human desires. For most men, it is a river that floods its banks, seeking only physical release and often leaving chaos in its wake. They are slaves to this energy, not masters of it. The genius, the master builder, learns to do something different. He learns to build a dam and a hydroelectric plant. He takes this powerful, creative, primal river of energy and he transmutes it. He channels it away from purely physical expression and redirects it into his work, his purpose, his mission. This is the secret of personal magnetism, of charisma, of creative genius. When you learn to harness this energy, you infuse your actions with a new level of power. Your voice carries more conviction, your ideas have more brilliance, your desire for your purpose becomes a creative fire that burns away all obstacles. You become a magnet, attracting the people, opportunities, and resources needed to complete your bridge. This is an advanced concept. It requires discipline. It requires you to be the master of your own internal state. It begins with the simple act of being so consumed by your definite purpose that it becomes the primary channel for your creative energy. Your mission becomes your masterpiece. Your plan becomes your passion. This is the force that turns a functional bridge into a breathtaking work of art. It is the difference between competence and genius. You have this river of fire within you. Now you have the choice. Will you let it control you, or will you harness it to build your legacy? The engineer does not let power go to waste. He puts it to work. The theory is over. The blueprints are in your hands. You now understand the engineering, the materials, and the process. You have the complete plan to build a bridge from the invisible world of your thoughts to the visible world of wealth and achievement. But a blueprint, no matter how perfect, has never built anything. There is only one thing missing, one final, essential ingredient that gives life to the entire plan. Action. Action is the true measure of intelligence. Action is the spark that ignites the fuel. Action is the moment the engineer picks up his tools and breaks ground. Without it, everything we have discussed is nothing more than sophisticated entertainment. Your old pattern is to learn something, feel inspired, and then do nothing. It is the pattern of waiting for the right moment. That pattern dies today. That bridge gets burned behind you. Your new identity is that of a man of action, a man who moves with purpose and decision, a man who builds. So here is your final command. This is your commitment. Within the next 24 hours, you will take the first physical step in your organized plan. It does not have to be a giant leap. It can be the smallest, most manageable action. Write down your definite purpose. Make the call to your mastermind partner. Enroll in the course to get the specialized knowledge. This first act is everything. It is the first domino. It sends a shockwave through your nervous system and a signal to the universe that you are no longer a dreamer on the riverbank. You are the engineer. You are on the job. Now it's time to seal this new identity. We will perform a ritual of command. Do not just listen, participate. Your voice has power over your own cells. Respire fundo. Now state this with the conviction of a man who has already won. I am the engineer. I am the builder. My thoughts are commands and my actions are the proof. I build my bridge starting now. You have the blueprint. You understand that the gap between your mind and your reality is not a void, but a construction site waiting for its engineer. The bridge from thought to thing is not a myth. It is a project, and you are the man in charge. Every principle, from a definite purpose to relentless persistence, is a tool in your hands. Use them. Your mission does not end when this video fades. Too black, it is just beginning. This is not another video you consume and forget. This is your new operational manual. Your mission is to make this your training. Return here, not when you feel like it, but on a schedule. Make it your morning ritual before you lay the first brick of your day. Reinstall these codes until they become the very architecture of your being. Let the world have its motivational quotes and its fleeting inspirations. You have a blueprint. You have a plan. You have work to do. If you are committed to this path, to this work, subscribe now. This is not a channel. This is your training ground. Go to the comments and declare your new identity, right? I am the engineer. Make it your public contract. You know another man who is standing on the riverbank, paralyzed by doubt, a good man trapped by a bad plan. Send him this blueprint. Recruit another builder to the cause.